Woodpeckers are birds from the order Piciformes. Found worldwide and includes a number of species, usually numbering 218, including the ivory-billed woodpecker. Some woodpeckers in the order Piciformes have zygodactyl feet, with 2 toes pointing forward and 2 backwards. The legs, although adapted for holding onto vertical surfaces, can be used for seizing or seizing. Some species have only 3 toes. The long tongue found in some woodpeckers can be extended to catch insects. The woodpecker gets its name from the habit of some species to tap and peck tree trunks with their beaks. It is a means of communicating possession of territory via signals to rivals, and a means of searching for and finding insect larvae under bark or long winding tunnels in trees. At first, woodpeckers search for tunnels by tapping rods. Once the tunnel is found, the woodpecker chisels out the wood until it creates an opening to the tunnel. Then it stuck its tongue down the tunnel to try to find the grubs. The woodpecker's tongue is long and ends with a hook. With its tongue the woodpecker pierces the tempiac and pulls it out of the stem. Woodpeckers also use their beaks to make larger holes for their nests about 15 to 45 cm, 6 to 18 inches into the exposed lower surface. The nests are lined only with wood chips and hold 2 to 8 white eggs which the female lays. Because it is out of sight, the nest is invisible to predators and the eggs do not need to be camouflaged. Cavities made by woodpeckers are also reused as nests by other birds, such as some ducks and owls, and mammals, such as tree squirrels. But this time we will discuss one type of woodpecker in detail, namely the ivory-billed woodpecker. The ivory-billed woodpecker is a large species of woodpecker from the United States. The largest of all woodpeckers is the king woodpecker, C.imperialis, from western Mexico, which is another endangered species. The ivory-billed woodpecker is 50 centimeters long and weighs 600 grams. This animal has a wingspan of 75 centimeters. The bird is bluish-black with white markings on the neck and back and extensive white on the trailing and underwing wings. The underwing is also white along its forward edge, resulting in a black line running along the middle of the underwing, expanding to more extensive black at the wingtip. The crest is black on the female and on the young. In males, the crest is black along its forward edge, changing abruptly to red on the side and rear. The chin of the ivory-billed woodpecker is black. When perched with the wings folded, ivory bills of both sexes present a large patch of white on the lower back, roughly triangular in shape. These characteristics characterize him since childhood and are a black-billed pileated woodpecker. Pileated woodpeckers are generally brownish-black, gray-black, or blue-black in color. This animal also has white stripes on its neck but its back is generally black. Young and adult pileated woodpeckers have a red crest and white chin. Most pileated woodpeckers usually do not have white edges on the surface. The outside of their wings and when perched normally displays a small patch of white on each side of the body near the edge of the wing. However, pileated woodpeckers, apparently aberrant individuals, have been reported with white trailing edges on the wings, forming a white triangular patch on the lower back when perched. Like most woodpeckers, the ivory-billed has a strong beak and a long, agile, hard and hooked tongue. Among North American woodpeckers, the ivory-billed species is unique in having a bill that is roughly tipped, shaped much like a chisel in wood. This bird drum only beats once or twice. 4 distinct calls are reported in the literature and 2 were recorded in the 1930s. The most common one is kent or hant. The sound is like a toy trumpet which is often repeated in sequence. When the bird is disturbed, the pitch of the kent note rises, it is repeated more frequently, and is often doubled. A conversational call, also recorded, is given between individuals at the nest, and has been described as yent-yent-yent. The ivory-billed woodpecker prefers the hardwoods of swamp and pine forests, where large numbers of trees have died and decayed. Prior to the American Civil War, much of the southern United States was covered in vast hardwood forests thought to be the bird's habitat. At that time, the ivory-billed woodpecker ranged from eastern Texas to North Carolina, and from southern Illinois to Florida and Cuba. After the Civil War, the logging industry cleared millions of hectares of forest in the South, leaving little habitable habitat. The ivory-billed woodpecker likes to eat beetle larvae in nests in wood. This animal also likes to eat seeds, fruit, and insects. This bird uses its large white beak to peck, crack and peel off the bark on dead trees to find insects. Oddly enough, These birds need to spend about 25 square kilometers, 10 square miles per perch, so they can only find enough food to feed their chicks and themselves. Hence, very few healthy populations. Most pileated woodpeckers compete for food with this species. Ivory-billed woodpeckers live in pairs. Each pair is thought to always go together. These bird pairs will mate every year between January and May. Before the females lay their eggs, they make a nest in a dead tree about 8 to 15 m from the ground. Usually 2 or 5 eggs are laid and incubated for 3 to 5 weeks. Both parents will incubate the eggs and look after their young. The male will take responsibility at night. They will feed the child for several months. About 5 weeks after hatching, they learn to fly. Even after the young are able to fly, the parents will continue to feed them for another 2 months. The family will separate in late autumn or early winter.